Hello, YouTube. It's Birdo Prey 5. Well, hello, Thomas. Someone showed up. Isn't that great? I say that because Doomcock has been on streaming for a couple of hours. I've been watching most of it, but I figured I'd better come on. Wanted to say a couple of things. Thank you for saying you hear me. That would have been my next question. Well, just a heads up. Tonight is not going to be a long stream. Last night's took it out of me completely. I had to be up early for a phone appointment. And then I ended up napping till 11 a.m., which I never do. And of course, I woke up at 11 thinking, oh, still plenty of time because Anti-Tracker hasn't gone on at 11 a.m. in, I don't know, weeks, months maybe. But sure enough, today was the day he went on at 10 a.m. So I was an hour late to the stream. Not that it's the end of the world. I did re-listen to it once it was over, but that was just the type of day. So tonight I need to go to bed early, my usual time, 8:30, 9 o'clock. And because tomorrow I got some work I want to do to put together for a video we're going to do tomorrow. Not video, a live stream. But it's a fairly important one to me. Heads up, it's not about politics, so you don't have to worry about that. And it's not really about sci-fi either. It is something else. I think you guys will find it interesting. Most people certainly do. And yeah, I'm just gonna tease it a little. Thomas missed the first 30 minutes of Anti-Tracker's stream. Yeah, I mean, he definitely took us for a surprise today, but I understand he wanted to get an early start on his work. He's been looking forward to taking this week off, and then he had to deal with his back issues, so cool. Commander Ironwolf, Qapla. Commander Ironwolf, welcome to the stream. Welcome. So, I don't know how much you guys have been following. Apparently, there's been some news in the last few days about the new Picard series. And then news today about Star Trek 4, the JJ verse version of Star Trek 4, which some people are celebrating. I'm not. Basically, they're saying the JJ version of Star Trek 4 is officially shelved, which basically means dead. And I find that disappointing, to be honest. I was not the biggest fan of the JJ verse, but I didn't hate Star Trek 2009. I kind of liked it. I kind of liked Into Darkness. I definitely did not like Beyond, but I had hopes that the fourth one, would get better, because certainly the entire history of Star Trek movies is there are some good and some bad, and the worse one is, the better the next one tends to be. So I had high hopes for Star Trek 4. JJ verse, even if it's not the ones we're used to, it's something. I mean, because if you can't do a JJ verse Star Trek right now, what other Star Trek movie can you do? The Next Generation cast is much too old to do a movie. The original series cast is half gone. And much too old to do a movie. So your Deep Space Nine crew is too old to do a movie, and there's really no way to logically get them all together to do a movie. The Voyager crew, for the most part, old, and no logical reason they would be together for a movie. So you're literally completely out of luck. The only chance of a movie we had for the foreseeable future, minus this rumored one out of left field that Quentin Tarantino is doing, the only recognizable Star Trek film would have been Star Trek IV, J.J. Verse. You know, say what you will about the stories, the actors were excellent. Chris Helmsworth, Chris Pine, Zachary Quentin. I'm sorry I butcher their names, but all the actors, unfortunately, Chekhov died when his Jeep crushed him. But Uhura, everyone else, they were Sulu, they were perfectly, I don't want to say perfect, but they were very, very well cast. I enjoyed having a decent cast. You can always get a good script. So yeah, I'm disappointed. I'm not going to celebrate the death of Star Trek IV. I'm mourning it, if anything, because there's no other movies. God forbid they put the Discovery cast in a movie, because there's really no other choice, right? I mean, who else would they play to put in a movie? It'd either be a completely unknown crew, which is possible, recasting either TOS or TNG people, or a unknown crew. So those are our choices. Frankly, a continuation of the JJ verse was the best option out of them, at least in my humble opinion. Darth Raven, the Yellow Vest protesters in Ireland is a multi-city protest Saturday afternoon. Okay. Thomas says it should be green vests in Ireland. Darth says, well, the official color is blue, yet it's not on the flag. Symbolism. The Enterprise crew is getting old. I forgot all about Enterprise. But yes, even the Enterprise crew is getting old. And again, there's no logical reason that they would all be together after this many years have passed. You know, Captain Archer wouldn't be Captain Archer anymore. Tucker is dead. You know, is Hoshi really enough to carry it? I mean, you wouldn't expect T'Pol to still be on Enterprise. Really, you might not even expect Enterprise to even still be warping around the galaxy. And let's face it, they're not going to give a movie to a series that only ran 4 seasons and ended in an unfortunate disgrace. I wish they would, but we're at least 10 years too late for an Enterprise movie. Chakotay is not being recast. Chekhov. Oh, Chekhov is not being recast. Or killed off. Well, they're not doing anything with Chekhov because there's not going to be a Star Trek 4 Darth. So, it's just over. As far as we know, there will not be any further J.J. verse movies. So that's what's unfortunate. That's what I was talking about. Bird, what about the Enterprise B crew? Nobody gave a shit about the Enterprise B crew, Darth. Except maybe Sulu's daughter. Nobody on that ship was memorable or noteworthy. Captain, everything will be here next Tuesday. And they're all probably much too old now anyway. You'd have to recast every single one of them. And again, it's a prequel. At least the JJ verse, they're not technically prequels because it's completely different history. And we know it and we accept it. Whether we like it or not, it's acceptable because of the changes in the timeline. The Enterprise B would be a prequel, and you can't do anything too crazy in a prequel without there being a reason that it's never brought up again. And you can only have so many reasons why things will never be brought up again. So, yeah. Under Captain Sulu's daughter, bring back the actress. Yeah, it's Sulu with an S. I don't know if she's in any condition to come back, if she's still an actress, if she would want to come back. There's no prior history of Sulu being a captain of the Enterprise. And again, you're in prequel territory, which is not ideally where you want to be. I wanted to go over a couple other articles I found interesting. Not all of them are sci-fi related. I'm just gonna switch on over. This, I know this is already a week plus old, but it's funny. You don't have to read the whole thing if you're not familiar with it. Basically, this guy got stuck in a bathroom at a Burger King. The lock on the bathroom door broke, so he got stuck in the bathroom. He says was a period more than an hour. So it was less than an hour and a half, but over an hour. So let's say, for sake, at most it was 90 minutes. So let's say you were stuck in a Burger King single stall bathroom for 90 minutes. Yeah, it's annoying. It probably smells bad, but it's not the end of the world, right? I mean, you have a toilet, you have a sink. I wouldn't suggest drinking the water, but you can go to the bathroom. You could sit if you had to. So when he realized the door wouldn't open, he called the restaurant because he had the phone number on his receipt. So he called the restaurant from his cell phone. Some employees came over. They tried to let him out. They couldn't get the door open. For some reason, they passed him a fly swatter under the door and told him to try to use it to wedge it between the door and the lock to kind of like open the lock, like when you see people open locks with credit cards in movies. I guess you don't see that these days anymore, but in the olden days you used to see credit cards be used to open doors, and it would work too if you had a door that was set up that way. So he's in there. They give him the fly swatter. Apparently he finds some way to hurt himself using the fly swatter. He cuts himself, and he's not able to get out. So they eventually just call a locksmith, which they should have done, I guess, in the beginning. To be fair, it doesn't say they didn't call a locksmith, but, you know, locksmiths don't necessarily come down immediately. So the fact they got one there within 90 minutes probably means they called him early on anyway. So the locksmith gets him out, and he's bleeding a bit because of however he hurt himself using the fly swatter. And the manager supposedly tells him that he's going to get free Burger King for life because of his 90 minutes, up to 90 minutes of inconvenience in the restaurant bathroom. So sounds like a good deal, right? I would have taken a deal, but to be honest, I probably wouldn't have ended up locked in the bathroom to begin with. But okay, fine. So what does he do? He used to come to the restaurant once a week or so. If you read the article, maybe twice a week. He had started coming to the restaurant every single day, and sometimes twice a day. And for a couple of weeks, they were giving him his food for free. But I guess after a couple of weeks and seeing that this guy was going to take full advantage of his a free food for life plan, which apparently came without any type of limits, the restaurant told him that the district office or the regional office put a kibosh on it and that they couldn't honor the agreement anymore. So he turns around and sues Burger King for just under $9,000, just under $10,000, $9,026, which he estimated as the cost of a Whopper meal a week for the next 22 years, which is a very reasonable estimate. I mean, certainly to free food for life, you're going to just go down to one meal a week, and you're only going to assume you're going to live another 22 years. The guy's in his 50s, I believe. I think 22 puts him to 75 or something. So, you know, that's not a crazy estimate, but the reality is, are you really entitled to $9,000 for 90 minutes, probably less, stuck in a bathroom? I don't think so. I don't think so, because I'll be honest. I mean, it's not like you're stuck in an airplane lavatory that it's like super claustrophobic. You are stuck in a Burger King bathroom stall. If you've ever been in a Burger King bathroom stall, I have to imagine that it was probably handicap accessible. It was a wide space. I've never felt claustrophobic in a Burger King or a McDonald's bathroom. No, they're not the most pleasant places to be, but man, for $9,000 for 90 minutes, I would take that every day of the week. I would do it for $1,000 for 90 minutes. I mean, that's the thing. They could give this guy $1,000 for his 90 minutes of inconvenience. You know, he's not saying he missed his grandson's birth or his father died because he couldn't get to the hospital on time. There were no real repercussions in his life other than he was inconvenienced and he had a cut on his finger that they put a Band-Aid on. There was no infection. Luckily, there was nothing too serious. Why the manager would even offer free food for life is kind of ridiculous. One would argue, does the manager even have the ability, the authority to grant free food for life? Clearly, they could only be granting it at their own Burger King. I mean, they didn't give him anything in writing. So it's not like he could go to Burger King in another state or another city or even across town and say, oh yeah, the manager at the store in, you know, Main Street said I get free Burger King for life. You know, any other Burger King would have laughed at him and said, sorry, guy, no. So it must have been unique to that store. And then he did kind of, he kind of took advantage of it. I mean, even if you watch on like Price is Right or morning game shows where they give away free groceries for a week, free groceries for a year, or free gas for a year, there's a weekly maximum. It's like, you know, it's assuming $20 of gas a week for the year, or $100 in groceries a week for the year. It's not that you can go and take thousands of dollars of groceries a week and you get it all for free. Had this guy been really limiting himself to a meal or two a week, it's quite possible nobody would have complained and it wouldn't have canceled his deal, although, to be fair, he should have had this deal in writing. I watched a YouTube channel of some lawyer who thinks this guy has a pretty decent case. And, you know, he probably does. But I just, listen, I'm not that I want to, I'm not against the consumer by any means. But where you get a number of $9,000 because you got stuck in a bathroom for an hour and a half or less, it just ridiculous to me. Ridiculous. It's like winning the lottery. He went into Burger King and he won the lottery if he gets this. Because anybody would be an idiot not to take almost $10,000 cash for a 90-minute inconvenience in their life. That was the other part of his complaint. He said he heard employees and other people at the restaurant laughing at him when he was stuck in the bathroom. So like this had some type of deep emotional scar on him because, oh my God, the other customers are laughing at me. Yeah, right. Yeah. Well, I don't think anybody gave a shit. And even if they did laugh, he shouldn't have cared. So, yeah, that's my take on this guy. I mean, listen, I'm kind of interested to see what happens. More than likely, Burger King will settle with him, and it will be kept secret, and we'll never know. But whatever. Yeah. So what are your thoughts? Do any of you have an opinion on Burger King bathroom man? There's no official canon on what the Enterprise B did after Generations. No, Thomas, there's no official canon, but there's also no mention of the Enterprise B in Star Trek The Next Generation, or Deep Space Nine, or Voyager, or any of the other shows. So if they did something amazing, you would think they would have been brought up, like Captain Kirk was occasionally brought up. But they never brought up the B. They never really brought up the C, except in that one episode of The Next Generation. So, you know, you have to just, you can assume, I mean, you don't want to start changing things. I mean, Enterprise already, it was hard to work into the existing Star Trek canon. But at least it was 80 years prior to TOS. That, okay, maybe nobody cares anymore. Enterprise B would be even closer to TNG than TOS was, and the movies. So you would certainly expect them to be more fresh in history. What about the Enterprise F and then turn it into a TV show? Well, you don't go from movies to TV shows. That's not how it works. Darth says, my city got rid of Burger King. They burned the meat and sold horse meat. Well, that sounds defamatory, Darth. Are you sure it was horse meat? I'm surprised he didn't ask for $20 million in emotional problems. You know what, Thomas? That's the one thing. The guy did have a decent... I do have a respect for him, that he showed some restraint as to what he asked for. But, you know, yeah, because a lot of people would have asked for some crazy amount because it's Burger King. So I'm happy he showed some restraint, but still, $10,000 for an hour and a half in a bathroom, it's just too much. It's just too much. Didn't you like my response on the AT site to your spiders post? Probably, although I think I was like avoiding the spiders post because I saw someone posted spiders, and I just didn't want to see them. Was yours the one with the rainbows? The rainbow emojis and spider emojis, Thomas? Darth says, it's true, there's been a huge scandal about it. Oh, that's nasty then. Burger King here, I gotta say, their burgers are better than McDonald's burgers, but that's about it. You Americans sure sue at the drop of a hat. Over here it's your stereotype. Oh, gay spiders. I get it. They were gay spiders because of the rainbows. I see. Okay, we're going back to another story. This one is sci-fi related. So, you guys might have seen this talked about already by other people. I'm gonna just read it quickly. This came out yesterday. A little bit of detail on the new Star Trek series that's gonna have Jean-Luc Picard starring in it. And it says, Alex Kurtzman tells The Hollywood Reporter that Patrick Stewart's fan-favorite captain has a new life following the dissolution of the Romulan Empire. Okay, well, my first question is, why is the Romulan Empire dissolving? The name is the Romulan Star Empire. Yes, Romulus, and I assume Remus, were major planets. But it is an empire, a star empire. They span multiple solar systems. A decent part of the quadrant is Romulan. If the Federation, if the Earth was to be destroyed, the Federation would still go on. If Kronos was to be destroyed, the Klingon Empire would continue. Why is the Romulan Empire falling apart due to the destruction of Romulus? Yes, it should set them back. It should weaken them. But it seems weird that they're falling apart. That's my first worry. Says, what is the next chapter in the life of Jean-Luc Picard? I don't know what the hell this is that I opened. Go away, please. No, I don't want this. Go away. God damn it. Why did you open? What are you? Emergency reset? Are you people even seeing this on the screen? Emergency reset. What the hell would I be an emergency? Connect to your phone. No. I don't want to connect to my phone. Just leave. Can I destroy you somehow? Fuck. What? Emergency reset. Perform an emergency reset of my flow if you're confident there are no problems with your internet connection or your Opera browser. If most cases, it is recommended to use the reset option from the My Flow settings. What the hell are you talking about? Just go away. God damn it, you're still here. Please, go away. No. What if I uncheck that? No, now you're locked. No, that which... Oh my God. I don't want to learn more about One Touch. I don't want to use One Touch. Thank you. Thank you. That made it go away. Of course, now I've lost all my menu on the side, but I don't care. I'm sorry about that. Okay, so what's next in the life of Jean-Luc Picard? That's the question Star Trek diehards have been asking since August. Blah, 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 blah. Little is known about the plot of the show, which has been described as an exploration of the next chapter of Picard's life. Fans have speculated it will find him serving as an ambassador, just as Leonard Nimoy's Spock did in the later years of his life. Now, Trek captain Alex Kurtzman is pulling back the curtain on the upcoming project, revealing that revealing that a cataclysmic something or other. Revealing that a cataclysmic event depicted in the 2009 J.J. Abrams movie impacted Picard in a big way. Well, that's starting to disturb me. Why the destruction of Romulus would have impacted Picard so strongly. Written by Kurtzman, no surprise, and former producing partner Robert Orci, it was revealed that Nimoy's Spock failed to save the Romulan homeworld Romulus from a supernova several years after the events of Nemesis. Now Kurtzman, as part of the Creative Space interview with The Hollywood Reporter, posting Wednesday, is ready to reveal one massive clue about the premise of CBS All-Access Picard effort due in late 2019. So that probably literally means December 31st, 2019. If it's on time. Picard's life was radically altered by the dissolution of the Romulan Empire, Kurtzman tells The Hollywood Reporter. The Picard series will be the first on-screen Trek story set in the aftermath of the event, which would have altered the balance of power in the galaxy. The destruction of Romulus would have resonance for Picard, who has a long and complicated relationship with the Romulans, the alien race that split from Vulcan thousands of years ago and founded a separate civilization. The Romulans went on to control a portion of the galaxy, and the Empire was in opposition to the Federation for all of Picard's career. Well, that's not true. Picard's career started long before Star Trek The Next Generation, and up until that episode in The Next Generation where the Romulans say they're back, the Romulans were unheard of and not heard from for decades. So no, there was a decent portion of Picard's career where nobody worried about the Romulans. One of the goals as captain of the Enterprise was seeking a peace between the Romulan Empire and the Federation. True enough. Picard teamed up with Spock during events of the Next Generation two-part story Unification, in which they learned Romulus, claiming to seek a peaceful reunification with the Vulcans, were actually planning a secret takeover. And in the events of Nemesis, Picard's faced off with a clone of himself created by Romulans. Now, this is the most worrying paragraph to me. Kurtzman says Stewart agreed to return only if he could defy what people are used to seeing with Trek. He threw down an amazing gauntlet and said, and this is supposedly Patrick Stewart's words, "If we do this, I want it to be so different. I want it to be both what people remember, but also not what they're expecting at all." Does that sound familiar to anyone? Otherwise, why do it? Kurtzman recalls of their initial discussion for what would become the highly anticipated CBS All Access series. It was part of a long journey to woo Stewart back to the role that began more than a year ago. I'm sorry. I have to call bullshit. That is not the words of Patrick Stewart. There is no way you're going to convince me he threw down that gauntlet. The man I saw, Patrick Stewart, in his own words, on the stage of Star Trek Las Vegas when he announced this project, and what he has said repeatedly on other stages and in interviews and in in conventions, is that what motivated him the most, what he remembers the most, what he loved the most, was about people coming to him and saying they found the greatest hope in watching Star Trek The Next Generation. That watching him and watching the Enterprise gave them hope that humanity was going to overcome the problems of the day. And that is exactly what he said he wanted to bring back. He said those were the feelings he felt he needed to bring back, and why he would agree to do a new Star Trek series. Absolutely nothing about being radically different, not what people expected. Those aren't the words of the man who wants to bring comfort to the audience. So yeah, I'm calling bullshit. That was Kurtzman spinning his own opinions, trying to pass it off as Patrick Stewart's. And I hope he gets called out on it. I hope he does. Oh. It could be a scam. Check PayPal if you can. I will, Thomas. Give me 1 minute. I will check PayPal. In the meantime, you guys can listen to California Girls. Well, East Coast girls are hip, I really dig those styles they wear. And the Southern girls with the way they talk, they knock me out when I'm down there. The Midwest farmers' daughters really make you feel all right. And the Northern girls with the way they kiss, they keep their boyfriends warm at night. I wish they all could be California. I wish they all could be California. I wish they all could be California girls. The West Coast has the sunshine and the girls all get so tan. I dig a French bikini on a wild island all by a palm tree in the sand. I've been all around this great big world and I see all kinds of girls. Yeah, but I can't wait to get back in the States, back to the cutest girls in the world. I wish they all could be California. I wish they all could be California. I wish they all could be California girls. I'll save you guys from the next verse. Thomas, I looked at your PayPal. I don't know if I can do that. He's a good guy. I'm not ready to see him sleep with the fishes just yet. But you know what? We'll see. If he gets on my bad side, you never know. Yeah, could be the loss of Spock. Well, right. I mean, Spock didn't die. He might have died. Well, he's lost. They didn't know that he died. I guess he's presumed dead. I don't know if the loss of Spock would have really hit him hard, but it's possible. Check Discord. I sent you 2 pics from Steward's Instagram. It don't entrust me. Darth asked Thomas, "Are you planning my death again?" No one said it was you, Darth. And no one said it wasn't. Those are both true statements. Those are both true statements. So I need to check Discord. Okay. I don't know, Darth. Those pictures, they're not bringing me a whole lot of comfort. I don't know. This is upsetting me. Okay, guys. I'm going to call it a night. I need to get my beauty rest, obviously. You see what happens when I miss it. Qapla, thank you guys so much for coming. I know Doomcock was streaming. I'm shocked anybody came. But good luck. Let's keep our fingers crossed for better Star Trek coming down the line. We hope for the best, but we prepare for the worst. That's good words to live by. Ha ha ha, Darth. You don't want to get on my bad side. Not now.